Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Diamond DeLorean, and today we are going to be doing a 1000 day world tour of my Minecraft Bedrock Edition hardcore world. If you guys do go on to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe, it really does help me out. And yeah, let's jump straight into the world tour. The building we're starting in here is the first building I ever built on the world, and I'll show you the outside of it. So we'll try to do everything in order, and hopefully that'll make it easier to understand how this world has progressed. So yeah, first building I ever built was this massive windmill. This was my first home. This is where I lived. And I put a massive wheat farm around it. This took forever to actually plant everything. And like at the time, none of these villages were here. These are all relatively new. And it was just all like fully grown wheat for a long time. These days it's like, you know, the villagers are kind of ravaging it and replanting it all the time, so yeah, it's never all fully grown now. Anyway, inside the windmill had my storage, which a lot of the stuff is still here. I've never been bothered to, like, you know, come back and empty it. These beds are all for the villagers that work around the windmill now. It had a basement, nothing here anymore, and it went down to my mine shaft, kind of like down there. Upstairs never really had anything. I think at the time of using it as a base, this had chests like on the walls. But now it's kind of, you know, just empty, and it's more purely for decoration these days. Nothing up the top. I don't think there ever was. I never really had, you know, at the time, much to put up here. Going back out the front, so I kind of want to keep some buildings a surprise for later, but let's go in order. This building right here is the barn. This is the second building I did in my hardcore world. Just a few animals, sheep, there's some cows in there, a bunch of chickens, some pigs, that's about it. There is, like, you know, nothing on this side up top. A few barrels, a few hay. I just wanted a little bit of decoration, you know, so it wasn't just like an empty barn. This is the newest kind of area, so I won't go over here yet. This was my second house and has become like my main house throughout all the 1000 days. Have my enchanting set up with someone working at the grindstone. I didn't know he was connected to that. This is... Ooh, that villager's got hurt. Sorry, buddy. This is my actual house that I have been living in for almost the entirety of the 1000 days. I might have built this 100 odd days in to the world. All this is relatively new. It's just my storage area. Has a second floor down the bottom here. I've got a copper golem from the recent update, who I don't really use, but he's here if I ever need him. Another drop down to another mine down there. That connects up with my old mine, I believe. Well, yep, we got an upstairs area. I just have a few armor sets up here. Again, it's empty. I don't really do much up here. I have my portal leads into the nether. There's not much in the nether either. We have... what else? That's kind of all that's in this area, apart from the village, which we'll come back to later. We do have a stable here, where I keep some skeleton horses and regular horses. Let's just say hello to Ralph Bone. Those who get the reference, you'll find that funny. We also have this massive bridge, leading to, as you can see, a castle over here, which we'll get to in a second. This massive bridge, all of stone brick, took about 200 days to get all the stuff smelted, all the stuff for it, and actually finish it, get the shape right, everything about this. I got to the other side here on about, I think it was exactly around day 200, and while we're here, might as well, you know, appreciate the totem, which we will also get a closer look at later. And there's some few other builds to my right, sorry, left, that I do not want to spoil for you yet. I gotta just quickly say, this bridge, as small part of the world as it is, I do really like it, and like the fact that it took me 200 days to actually finish it, I never thought I was going to get this done, and I can say the same about this castle. Like, if you thought the bridge took me forever, this thing took me forever. And like, I understand a lot of my builds in this world aren't great. There's a few I like, a few I don't like. The castle has like no decoration, you know, on the like walls. They're all plain, and I think I could have done that better. But that's the whole point of this world. I want to, you know, try to get better at building. And there's a few buildings on this world that I don't like, a few that I do, a few that I used tutorials for, took inspiration for. But most of the builds I've done just sit down, do it, hope it looks good, and it's about 50-50 so far on whether I actually like what I've built. This is the 200 Days Monument, which I'm pretty sure I built this the second I got over the other side, because I thought, you know, we should start building monuments, writing the date and time that... Oh, I did that at 5:45 a.m, God. That, you know, I've reached, you know, that day. I thought that would be interesting. All the monuments on the world have a date and a time, to commemorate when I hit that milestone. We've got player board right here. Not all these players are on all the time. It's pretty much just me on this world all the time. And I'm the only person on this world who's actually built anything. These guys are all just people who have visited, checked it out. We've got the castle. Inside the castle, we've got a bakery. Yes, I didn't come up with any interesting name for this. It's not decorated inside at all. It's purely just some farmer villages. This is where I buy my golden carrots, which I usually eat, but I'm eating steak at the moment because I ran out. We've got cactus farm, cacti farm, library over here. This was one of the first buildings I did. Again, not decorated on the bottom floor at all. It's purely just the top floor with all my villages with their enchantments listed. Again, not entirely, you know, the most beautiful thing because I've put some cherry wood there. I guess I was just in a rush one day. Not all full either, so I can put more villages in here if I decide to. That's this building. What else? This is one of the first buildings I built with a tutorial. I'll try to credit the video in the description if I can find it again, because I do not remember who built this. But this is where I kept my super smelter, my first super smelter. Got some copper in there. I don't use this anymore because I've upgraded to a fair bit bigger one. We've got some like villages in here. I used to buy some bricks off, stone bricks and stuff off them, quartz. I don't really see these guys anymore. But overall, it's a nice build. I do like this build. This is the second build that I used the tutorial for, which is the church, because I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do for a small church. I like this one quite a fair bit. It's much better than anything I could actually build without using a tutorial. We've got some gravestones out the back. Again, it's quite empty. I haven't really bothered with doing much decoration. Inside here, we've got, you know, a nice cathedral. If we close this, yeah, and the priest villager just sleeps back here. Yeah, so this was kind of like my main one-stop shop for like the villager I needed at the time. We've got Iron Lad. He's been chained up here just so he can't wander around and go outside the castle walls. We've got the clock tower. I should have mentioned that. Got another copper golem in here. I actually don't know why I put that there, but he's there. So that's just where he lives. I do want to take a second to appreciate the clock tower. It's not beautiful. It's very cubic and, you know, again, not very detailed at all. But I did take the time to put some buttons up there. This was just built off my mind. This was one of those builds I didn't, like, you know, pre-plan or like watch a tutorial for. I just kind of went ahead and did it. And I originally wanted it in the exact center of the castle walls. But you'll notice it's not exactly in the center of the castle. It's a bit towards the back. Yeah, I quite like what I've built when it comes to that, and I like how it looks in the skyline of the world. This building right here, it was going to be like a tavern. It's been sitting here for probably 600 odd days, and I just haven't done anything with it. I kind of just want to get rid of it by this point, and I probably will. This hut has been here since before the castle walls were even constructed, and I've been instructed by one of my mates to like never leave it, so like never remove it. So we'll just probably leave it there. Maybe we can turn this into another monument at some point. I don't know. And again, more empty space for me to ever, if I want to ever add something on. Next thing that we should probably look at while we're here, all the walls have insides. There is a ladder on the other side of the wall to get to the top. And down here, this is pretty new. I've added some jail cells. You never know when you're going to need them. Let me just fly up to the top of the wall. All the walls have, all corners have like these towers, obviously, that you can see. Just go up to a trapdoor, and you can look out over everything that has been built in the world. Nice little bridge down there. That's a small build I did. Path leading over there where there's another big bridge. There is nothing over there. That big bridge all the way over the back there isn't even complete. Another project I kind of built half of and then couldn't be bothered going back. While we're over here though, we should have a look at Gary. This is just, I was bored one day and wanted to build a snowman, so I did. And a pretty new addition to Gary is that in here, Gary actually lives inside himself. This is Gary. He's a bit camera shy apparently today. Oh, nope, where's he gone? Nope, no, he's very camera shy, but yep, Gary lives inside himself. There's nothing really in here, except for Gary. Well, we're also over this side of the world. We've got my sugarcane farm, which has been here since the walls started construction. And this, like, I use it occasionally. This isn't kind of my main source of sugarcane anymore. While we're here, not finished, again, another unfinished build. A mini kind of Clash Royale arena. I tried to copy it, pixel by pixel, get all the colors right. And this is pretty new. This, I haven't really come back to finish this. And to be honest, I might end up getting rid of it, because I don't know if I've done it entirely correct. Down here, we have what I was calling like the stone house or the stonecutter's house. It's just another villager area. The signs haven't been done. Yeah, this is, once again, all just filled with villagers who sell more stone and quartz and all that. I still haven't filled this side up. I will get to it at some point. But to be honest, I don't really need anything they sell. I just thought it would look cool to have a build made out of a different type of stone that I don't use. I think this is all tough blocks, and I don't build out of that a lot, so I just thought, it is a pretty ugly house. I think it's the ugliest build I've done. It's not that I hate the block or anything, I just think I could have done a bit of a better palette, maybe? I don't know. I don't use palettes a lot, but I think I could have made that better. This was built straight after it. This was meant to be the tavern, that unfinished building there was meant to be, but I swapped it to over here. Again, purely outside, it's all aesthetical. The inside, I decided to put my new and improved super smelter, and even then it's like, it could be bigger. I could have a better super smelter. I could maybe even build a second one on this side. I just haven't gotten around to it. I love procrastinating on this world. Oh, that's something I forgot to show with the castle. We've got a nice view. We've got the pier, which I'll go show you now. You got the boat. You got another monument. We'll go have a look at that on the way to the boat, shall we? It's the 800 Day monument. done on the 1st of August 2025 at 1:39 p.m. It's literally just a recreation of the hardcore hearts that you can see in my health bar. And I'll explain why it was such a small monument for 800 days soon when we get to another build a bit further down the line. But for the moment, this is the pier. Comes straight off from the side of the library when you enter the castle. And this is the only build on the world that I didn't do. Not the pier, I did the pier. This absolutely magnificent boat was actually done by my brother, and I believe he also used a YouTube tutorial. He didn't build this. I'm not entirely sure what YouTube tutorial he used. And this is where he lives. This is when he has played. This is what he uses as a house. Now, going over to the totem, we have, this was the 400 day monument, done on the 24th of April 2025. And I didn't use a tutorial for this. There probably is one that exists, but I built this entirely off the pixels on the actual totem in my hand and on a item on the floor. I put it down and I decided what wood would be best. Get away. What wood would be best for every pixel, and I used a bit of quartz, doing some emeralds for the eyes. I think there's some dark green wool in there as well. And we've also used this totem as a storage area for some spare totems that we have from one of our farms. We might as well do this while we're here. This was why the 800 day monument was so small. It's the Age of Ultron Avengers Tower. Now, I wish I could say I built this without using a tutorial, but I cannot. If you are looking for the tutorial I used, I do know it was made by TSMC. So if you just type in TSMC Minecraft Avengers Tower, you can find this. This is what I've kind of got as a second house. It was going to be my main base, but to be honest with you, I'm too lazy to fly up here or use the lift that I've installed down the bottom. So I kind of just live in my starter house still, like my the second one I built, right next to the windmill. And all these floors are empty except for one, which just has like a library on it. Got my bedroom upstairs. There's nothing here. Once again, it's a lot of space. I have nothing to put in it. Got a map room up the very top of the tower with, not everything's been mapped yet, but I will get there. And yeah, to be honest, this was just kind of a build to do, again, aesthetically. A lot of the builds are aesthetically. I haven't really done much with the interiors, and I will hopefully over the next 1,000 days get some of these filled out with stuff. We'll get to all that later. That's on my farms over there. So this build up here, these two were made at completely different times, but we do call this the Creeper Cabin because the Creeper was here first. I built this Creeper for, I believe it was 600 days. This is a 600 day monument, done on the 6th of May 2025 at 8:11 at night. And I built it here purely so you could see it from the bridge. You can see the totem and the creeper from the bridge, and I like that. You can also see the heart monument next to the castle from the bridge. And then I got home from work one day and was like, I'm bored, so I just decided to build a giant cabin up here for whatever reason. Creeper cabin. We put a day on this one, day 648, for whatever reason, because this isn't a monument. It's the only building I think that gets the date and time without being a monument. Done on the 17th of July 2025 at 7:47 at night. And I won't even really bother going in here. There's nothing in here. It's just rooms and stuff. Again, there's an attic, kind of an upstairs second floor. Nothing's in there. Now for this next one, we're going to go a bit out of order because this is the most recent build, and it's a wizard tower. It took me ages to get the roof how I wanted it, and even now I think it could be more pointy. It's not great. Again, very plain, very basic. but there is a nice path up here that you can take. This took me maybe 30-40 minutes to actually figure out exactly how I wanted it. Got some green torches. I wanted to find a use for these. That's the entire reason I built this, because I wanted it to kind of be like maybe a witch has been outcast from the village and has gone up here with like her magic torches. I don't know. Put a pale oak tree up here. I don't really know why. Just kind of wanted to like put them everywhere to kind of show that like things were darker and like dying up here. But I haven't gotten around to that yet either. There's nothing in here. Again, it's just a very, very, very long climb up to the top. And once you're up the top, there is a nice view. I'm thinking of hopefully trapping a witch or something up here. Maybe having some brewing stands, maybe some cauldrons. And you do get this nice view of the creeper cabin as well, of the kingdom. So overall, it's not bad. Again, just more decoration is needed. And that was built directly after this village was. Let's start with the first building of this village. I did say at the beginning of the video we were going to do this in order. We are going out of order. This is only been built over the past few days. Here we've got the royal map. When this was first built, I had no idea what I wanted to do here. No idea. So none of these other buildings were done. I had to flatten this whole area out. I built this here, and at first I was going to put more villages, like, you know, trapped in boxes. That didn't end up happening. We've got an upstairs area with some beds. Oh, what are you doing, mate? You're meant to be downstairs. We got just a few small rooms up here with windows. That's it. I haven't filled these up with anything. Yeah, that's like, this is just going to be like where I want to interact with my cartographers and all that. I really need to do more decoration. I might put a map on the floor or something, who knows. What was the second building? I think it was this one, which is the Treats for Travel supermarket. This wasn't even intended for any villagers to actually work in here. I've been slowly filling the shelves with like food, and I want to put some gear and armor down, purely just a shop for the village. All decorational in that building. Then we have the blacksmith. I do actually like this building, because I had the idea to have like an outside area. I wanted the unique roof with the chimney, and that was like the inspiration for that. We've got the fireplace inside. I love this fireplace. It's very basic, but I think it's one of the best parts about it. Just the workstations, some beds, nothing really interesting on the inside except for the fireplace. We've got another beetroot farm, like a beetroot farm. That was here before any of this as well, any of these buildings. And Banana Villagers work on that as well. This is also new. It's just another village, like it's kind of like a shed. I don't really like the design of it. It's very ugly, and does not match these buildings at all. But it's there, and I'm honestly just going to get rid of that, to be honest. This was one of the most recent builds in the village. It's just the library. Again, not full yet. It will be decorated. Tried out some of this, like this lightning rod technique where you put the candles on top, and I quite like that. Got town square, a little fountain, a bell. Over the other side here, there is a fishing hut. The fisherman sleeps and works in there. We've got nice little pier again. Again, not much to this. This took me, what, 10 minutes to actually build. This is the Logstorm Tavern, and a tavern that I actually used as a tavern. You won't believe it. 3rd time's the charm. We've got some seating. This is where the workstations are. Beds everywhere. There's an upstairs area. Nothing up here. Not quite sure what to put up here. But a lot of this place, like even the villages, I haven't really, had to buy anything off them yet. They're kind of aesthetic as well. A lot of this world seems to just be purely for looks. And some of the builds don't even look that good. this was one of the newest buildings. I think this is the newest building. We've got, you know, bows. It's like a archery shop. I haven't even put a sign on it yet because I didn't have the stuff to make hanging signs. Yeah, that's the small village that I've started building next to my house. Now we're gonna have to travel a few hundred blocks to get to the farms, which are just past Avengers Tower. And before, like, these farms are the backbone of the world. They're why we can build, you know, all these like really expensive builds, and why I was able to live off golden carrots for so long was this first farm. I don't remember what video I watched to get this design, but it's a raid farm. It's pretty basic. I think if you just look up any YouTuber, they've got like the same design. You can't see it for the clouds, but I followed a tutorial to build this. Well, most of it. This part underneath, we just kind of added on for storage. But you know, down the bottom there's a pillager outpost. It's got a trident killer down there, so you can trident kill any of the pillagers that spawn. You'll get a pillager captain who drops a bottle, and then you come up here with the raid bottle. You drink it, and pillagers will spawn up on that platform, get pushed down by water, fall down, die, or like you can kill them, they won't die to full damage, and then you can, you know, claim their loot through there. That got us a heap of emeralds, heaps of totems, to the point where I keep like a full shulker box on me of totems at all times. I haven't personally used this farm in a while, but it was the most useful thing in the world at one point. Down there, I'll go down quickly. We have a... Oh, that's my first totem pop in a long time. And I got it on camera. Great. Wouldn't that be tragic if I didn't have a totem on there? I haven't popped a totem in probably 300 days on this world. Well, that's something. Anyway, down here we have a kind of basic iron farm. It's not efficient at all. I just sit here occasionally when I'm really desperate for iron and can't be bothered mining. I don't even remember who I watched for this tutorial, but again, it's a very basic iron farm. A lot of people have this design. It's not unique in the slightest. There's just a bunch of villages under the floor. Iron golems spawn, get burnt, and their loot goes into a chest that's under there. The most important farms on this world are actually further out over here. We'll start with the smaller one. This is a squid farm. Again, if I can find the video, I will put the link in the description, but I think it's pretty basic for a squid farm. Squids spawn up in the... You sit up here, in this, like, just on that platform. Squids will spawn down here. They get pushed into the water and down here into a trident killer. Trident killers are the backbone of this world. And then the ink sacs that they drop will go down into these chests. Drowned do tend to spawn here, so you could probably also use this as a drowned farm. But it was intended to be a squid farm, and I've used it quite a bit to get a fair bit of ink sacs. This one right here, I think this is not... I don't know if this is like a generic one. I think it's pretty unique. I'll need to find the guy who I followed for this. But this is our mob farm, which without this mob farm, we'd have nothing on this world. This is how we fix all of our mending tools. This is how I get all the gunpowder for fireworks. And again, it's utilizing a trident killer. It's very loud. I won't subject you to that a lot. Mobs die up there. They spawn on all those platforms. They drop down. They dive to the trident killer, and then their loot goes into these chests. And I believe the last build that I have not shown you guys yet on the hardcore world is all the way out into the ocean. And this is purely my design, taken off another world I have where I do designs for the hardcore world, because a lot of the stuff I build in creative in a different world on a super flat, and then I'll try to, transfer the designs if I like them. I think this and the Creeper are the only two builds on this world that I've actually transferred and built again. But this, it doesn't look great. I don't know. It just, there could be more to this. It's very empty here. But it was meant to be, you know, an oil rig. It's got a crane. You got a little, I guess, radio tower up here. This was meant, like, up in the radio tower is where the, like, you know, bed and all that is. This was kind of like your bedroom. You got a little balcony. Then down here, this little box is actually an elevator. You cannot access it from here. This is to go up. So if I drop all the way down into the water, you can go in here. If you like traveled by boat or whatever, we never do. We have elytras, so we don't need to bother. But you go into this, shoots you up, and then you can come out. If you ever wanted to go down, I was going to build a down-only elevator in here connecting to the other leg that is below. And I will get around to that. A lot of stuff in this video that I'm going to get around to. I always get distracted and I procrastinate different stuff. We've got this little balcony, I guess, down the bottom of the oil rig. Then over here, we've got the main building. Where we've got like a little room here, nothing in it. None of these rooms have anything in it. Like, again, I just get bored. I just want to build stuff, so I do, whether they have uses or not. A bunch of empty rooms. We do have a nether portal here. I'm at some point going to connect that up with my other nether portal. I haven't done that. Another, like, a second floor for this building. Connects to the second floor of the red building. Goes over. It's very confusing. You do get used to it. Yeah, and the crane right here, you can climb up on top of the crane. And transferring, like, kind of, you know, rebuilding this block by block took a fair bit to get right off the, like, design world. What to make sure that I had it exactly how I designed it. I think I did pretty good at, you know, swapping them over. We've got stairs accessing up there, that's where we came from. You got stairs up there going to the top floor of the orange. Where's the other stairs? Oh, yeah. There. So we got, if you go up these ones, go around here, there's a little balcony area. If you go up the top, you can, there's balconies on all the roofs. Like, you can use them to look out. I'm not quite sure if I'm ever going to do more work here, if I'm ever going to put stuff on the oil rig. Maybe some villages. Maybe I'll transfer some villages here so it's not, like, you know, empty. But I don't really think I need more villages. I do have plans for the future of this area. This was built just after Avengers Tower, probably in the 800 to 850 to 900 in that area. Days. I didn't mark it. We got a ocean monument over there I raided. And I kind of want to turn that ocean monument into a guardian farm. I want to build like a giant cargo ship there at some point, and have like the guardian farm in the cargo ship. It's just going to take a lot of concrete. Again, this took forever to get the stuff for. Same with Avengers Tower. Like, just gathering all the stuff for the builds alone took a while. But yeah, that's everything on my 1000 days hardcore world. And if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. It really does help me out. I know it was very, you know, chaotic and out of order, but I hope you did enjoy at least like one of the builds that I've shown you today. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.